Alright, hi everyone, and welcome back to this channel. Sorry I couldn't upload any videos recently because I've been busy at the end of the year to finish up all the work I needed to do during that time, so it's been a while. But today's topic and question is, what's the, for example, Japanese word for bloody hell? why did I choose bloody hell? I don't know. It just came to mind. So I don't know. What do you think? If you speak two languages, please find a word for bloody hell. I'm trying to come up with a Japanese word for that because I only speak English and Japanese, but you can use any language. But yes, how would you translate it? Or what's the maybe I shouldn't have said translate, but what's the word for that in another language? Okay, so the answer is, sorry, I don't know. To be honest, to be precise, there's no word for that. There's no Japanese word for that. What I want to say here today is this applies to other words too. So how did these old English words generated in the long history? They were generated in the UK and maybe in France and Germany and a lot of places, and also in America as well. And those cultures are very completely different from Japan, of course. And you can find similar words by translating. For example, if you hire 3 translators and ask them for a Japanese word for bloody hell, they will bring you 3 different words probably. Maybe they could be the same, but they might bring you 3 different words. Why? Because there's no such thing as the exact same word for a particular English word. And yeah, like I said, bloody hell was a good example, but this applies to any word in English. The Japanese language has adopted several English terms, but we actually changed them a little bit, maybe sometimes a lot. So even if we use borrowed words from English, they are kind of slightly different because we changed them. I'm sorry. Yeah, sometimes very similar, sometimes a lot different. So that's why your language will sound very weird if you speak or write a foreign language by translating. Translation is something you need to do when it's the only way to understand the language. For example, I only speak if I only speak Japanese and English, but if I really need to understand something in German, obviously there's no time for me to learn German. I need to hire a translator or interpreter, right? That's the only choice. I would do that because it's the only way, right? It's a waste of time for me to learn German in that case. So that's the only thing I can do. But the most important thing is, if you translate, you can never understand what the original language means exactly. If you translate, the language you speak will sound weird, will sound unnatural or something like that. I think you have seen, if you're an English speaker, I'm sure you've seen a lot of unnatural English sentences generated by, for example, Japanese people. But why does it happen? Because they translated Japanese into English, and that's what they think is language speaking, learning, writing. But that is not exactly true. That is not true at all. So you need to keep in mind that you can't find exact same words in another language because of the cultural differences and the way it was generated, or the way it started to be used. So if you want to be a good speaker, good writer, something like that, you should never translate. That's the way you be able to speak the language naturally. And so in addition to that, actually brain switches to languages if you have 2 languages you're able to speak. So what brain does is to switch. So actually translating that doesn't work, to be honest. So these two things need to be something separate. Okay, so it's like, so sports is something similar to this actually. So in baseball, you have, for example, a ball, right? Baseball. So let's say, please, this is of course an imaginary situation. Please translate the baseball into soccer. What's the word? Maybe soccer ball, right? They're similar, maybe. So it's like, what's the most similar thing in soccer? How about the bat? How would you translate that into soccer? This is a very weird question, but it's kind of like, how would you translate that? How would you translate this English term to Japanese? So there's no such thing. There's no word, right? Yes, this is kind of an exaggeration, but learning by translating is like that. Of course, in languages, there are more and more terms, so maybe it's much easier to find similar words than finding something similar in soccer to one particular baseball item. But in languages as well, they're different things, so you can't find the exact same word for a particular word. That's why you shouldn't translate, and so that you will be able to understand the language more precisely. That's how you can be a true speaker of the language. Alright, so okay, I hope the importance of not translating spreads among language learners, hopefully because of this video. If you liked it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. And see you all in the next one. Bye.